Hi Cancer, this is your forecast for the month of March 2018. This is a general reading for Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, or Cancer Moon. For a more rounded overview, please watch your rising and moon sign as well. So Cancer, you're starting the week off with a major card. And so this is going to be an important week for you. It has something to do with winning, with achieving, with having success, with reaching a goal that you had in mind. Now, for some of you, that may tie into travel, perhaps international travel, or maybe you're involved in international affairs or working with people at a distance. Could be the web is important. Maybe you're dealing with foreigners. So something is reaching a conclusion and you're looking at it, you're doing an assessment of it. There's the end of something before the beginning of something else. And hopefully this is about a job well done. You want to expand your horizons in some way, whether that is physically or figuratively. You're searching for those ideal environmental conditions from which to operate. So this is a week about making some fresh starts. It could relate to your health, your physical and emotional health. And you're doing some things different. And there's something you were involved in. Now you're going to take a different approach. You get a second chance at dealing with an issue. And you know that after you do this assessment, you're looking at everything and you know you've got to make some changes. Whatever bad habits that have been hurting you, the emotional dependencies in your life, you know that something hasn't been working and you're ready to switch gears. And this is a great week for you to start new things. Whether that is paying more attention to your health, the foods that you eat, whether you need to get out there and do some exercise, or if your job is not fulfilling, searching for something else, making some changes in your relationships. And, you're coming to the end of the road with something in order to move in a new direction. And part of that is looking at everything that has happened, the things that didn't go so well, and being very tolerant of that, compassionate of it, with your situation. And forgiving yourself for where you didn't always show up or another. The only way to wipe the slate clean is to let go. And that would mean letting go of anger, frustration, resentments, things that you're holding on to that keep you tied to the past. So it's up to you this week to be a self-starter, to take the initiative. And if you do, this could be a week where you get a couple of fortunate business or social or romantic connections or some opportunities that cross your path. And you're going to feel reinvigorated this week. You've made up your mind about some things, about changing your life in positive ways, and you feel very strong about sticking to that. And you feel good about the path that you're on, the decisions that you're making, where you're headed. And because you're feeling good, you tend to generate that with others. If you've got somebody opposing you, they're going to, back down because you're putting out that good energy. And you're going to be able to work through issues peacefully and diplomatically. And your good karma is going to attract good things into your life this week. And you don't have to do anything but be a positive individual. This could be a week where you really make a lot of things happen for yourself. If you are struggling with something medically or legally or otherwise, this is a week where your resolve comes into play. And that good energy creates a shift in your circumstances. Now, for some of you, though, you're under pressure. You know that you need to make some changes. You can see it because you're looking at your relationships or your circumstances, and you know something has to give. And you may want to make that change, but you keep falling back into that rut. It's challenging for you to give in to this pressure. And if you're not wholeheartedly in it, even if you start something, you're going to fall back onto those old habits. There's a definite picture in your mind of how you think your life should look like. But if you don't put the intention and the force behind it, even if you start something, you're not going to get those results. This is also about you looking at where you're going too far, because this is about expanding your horizons, but we also must be mindful of what our limitations are. So you may overextend yourself somehow. I recently read something. Steve Jobs said that part of being successful is not how much you take on, but how many things you start to say no to. And so this is a week where it's important that you don't overextend yourself. Your budget, what projects you're taking on, overstepping emotional boundaries, trying to take on this superhuman characteristic and failing in some way in the process. This is also about you're trying to do it all and you're coming up with schemes or devious behavior in order to make it happen. But the only thing that happens is you start making people feel uncomfortable about what you're doing. You could even trigger some trust issues. So this week, it's important to be enthusiastic about where you're headed, optimistic, and yet be realistic, not be impractical. This is a week to sort things out. You're trying to achieve something. There's a goal. You want to fulfill something. And part of that is the belief in self and in your dream. So you have a vision that you want to execute. You want to bring something into reality and manifest it. But again, it's important to know what you're capable of and what is simply just beyond your reach. Hey, before you go, don't forget to visit my website blog for the daily tarot card of the day.